Hiram Maxim, not a great guy. One of these, Edison-type inventors. He had, 5 years of schooling in a one-room schoolhouse. Starts inventing things like curling irons and various little doodads, like a thing for demagnetizing watches. I don't know what that was all about. But he has a conversation with a buddy while he's in Vienna. And his buddy says, forget all that stuff. Just find something that helps these Europeans slit each other's throats with greater facility.
Is that a direct quote?
Yes.
Oh,
Not
dang.
the first part. I paraphrased the first part, but the slitting each other's throat thing, that's a direct quote. He takes this to heart, and he takes the idea of a Gatling gun. He improves upon it to make the first real live automatic firearm. A heavy machine gun that he calls humbly the Maxim gun.
Not for science, for money.
Not for science, for money. He loves money. But he has a little bit of difficulty marketing it. So he starts giving it away to African colonizers.
Oh, no.
Including one Cecil Rhodes.
Oh, no.
Yes. And they advertise it for him by mowing down thousands of indigenous people. This puts the Maxim gun at the top of everyone's shopping list, and Maxim makes a whole bunch of money, makes friends with a man named Vickers. It becomes the Vickers gun, which they then sell to both sides in World War I, making even more money. So, Maxim has now made a giant pile of cash. Also, he did this thing. Quick sidebar. You know when you're playing a game, like a video game, an RPG, and it's more fun at the beginning, and you just get into, the mid-game, and you're like, I'll just start a new character. It's like, this time, I kind of want to go back and do, magic, because I was a barbarian this time or whatever. Maxim did that, but with families.
Oh, no.
He would just kind of... He would... Because he started in the U.S., and then he went to Europe, and he started a new family there without ever divorcing his previous wife, and then he started another family with another... And he just kind of did that. Okay, so Maxim...
So he would just abandon his family, start a new one, and do that a few times. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So he's just kind of... just gallivanting about Europe... selling weapons of moderate
butchery.
To severe destruction. But he decides that he wants a flying machine. Because flying machines, I am not making this up, are the key to world domination.
See, this is Bond villain.
Bond villain. Hiram Maxim Bond villain.
This is straight up, made it for money, sold it to both sides.
Yeah. But this is where it gets fun, is what he does with this disgusting amount of money. Is that he decides he wants a flying machine because he's convinced it will help him conquer the world. Not making that up. So he builds the Leviathan. And that was its real name. I'm not making any of this up. This is all real. The Leviathan. Which is this aircraft, sort of. He never actually designed it to fly because he didn't want to bother himself with any of that aerodynamics crap. He just wanted to brute force it into the air. So he makes this thing. It's 40 feet long with a 110-foot wingspan. So you know the 40-yard dash that you do in school or whatever to see how fast you are? It's 10 feet short of that. Take 3 steps back from the 40-yard dash. That's how wide the wingspan is. And it's a quadruplane. It's got 4 of these wings stacked on top of each other. It has 2 360 horsepower steam engines on it.
Steam engines. Steam engine aircraft.
Each one driving a 17-foot diameter propeller.
Oh, dang.
It weighs 3.5 tons.
If anything, that sounds low.
7,000 pounds. He puts it on this track. It's 600 yards long, and he has it on these runners that it can just go up like a few inches so that he can prove that it could fly, but he doesn't have to worry about the whole takeoff and land and maneuver type stuff. Hits the gas on this thing.
The steam.
Hits the steam on this thing. Takes off down this track. And it works. He gets to the top of the runners. And then rips the track out of the ground.
The Leviathan will rise.
The Leviathan riseth. And he manages to bring it crashing back down. He has a crew of like a dozen men on this thing, by the way. He manages to bring it crashing back down without killing anyone.
Amazingly.
But a couple of guys are like moderately injured. They have to like bail off the side of this great big thing. But after his adventure, he looks at it and says, okay, so maybe aerodynamics should be investigated a little more before we try this again. Also, giant steam engines maybe aren't appropriate for aircraft. We're not ready for flying machines yet. But I do want a flying machine. So he makes a plan to get children interested in aviation so that in a few years when those kids grow up, they'll build the flying machine for him. He goes out and makes roller coasters and carnival rides. So that children will be fascinated by flight, and when they grow up, they will build him a flying machine, and he can finally take over the world. One of his roller coasters is actually still in operation to this day. Hiram Maxim, here's to you, buddy. Crazy plan.
Oh, man. That guy, if I hadn't heard about the Africa and Rhodes thing.
Oh, yeah. No, he is a monster.
Man. Oh, man. Absolute monster.